in the STA white paper, in the mDL ecosystem white paper, there's a section on these interaction modes. What this is the combination of ways to connect, ways to kick off a transaction, and then the data transfer method itself. So in day one, NFC tap and QR code scan are the two ways to kick off a transaction. And then each one of these columns here, each is an available data transfer method. So you can see if you're going to use NFC with an NFC data transfer, you would sort of tap on that terminal and hold it in place in that terminal until all of the data, including the portrait, goes across the NFC. And that can be very useful in a lot of different circumstances and can fit what may already be at point of sale for a verifier. Tapping and then going to Bluetooth or Wi-Fi aware for the data transfer is a slightly different experience, where they tap and they can pull the device away because the transmission of the data will happen from a greater distance. And there's flavors of these as well as you go through the QR code, so a scan and go. Those online model typically is not going to look very different to the user or to the verifier. You'll take the token that you've got, which might be a RESTful interface, and you just call it and request the data from the server side. And OpenID Connect with an authorization token where you request the data. And there's possibilities, if implemented by an mDL holder, of OpenID Connect with an authorization flow, in which case the call would trigger consent to the mDL device. And as well, the flavors here with biometric capture, where you sort of tap, the data gets transferred, and then you look at them. So as you look at how you break down your use case, you can start to fit, okay, the ideal way I would like to interact with my customers is, one of these. I'll make one example to show you. So in a restaurant, a waiter or waitress would walk up behind, to the table, to a round table. In that case, they're going to be standing at a safe distance from the person scanning the QR code over their shoulder when they show when they hold up the mDL, and having the data sort of scan and go use case really fits that quite well. And I mentioned before about point of sale, where it might be tap to kick it off. Day two, as we add these distance, then the interaction modes become a little different. So if I sat down at the restaurant and I said, oh, mDL, share my age because I'm going to order something, and I see the service that the restaurant has, it's more like a check-in. Oh, I'll check in. And then when the waiter walks over, they say, hi, David, what would you like? And so the flavors of these interaction modes become a little bit different, or a little more expanded in day two. These will be things for you to consider as you put your use cases together.